Life becomes challenging when we stop making excuses for ourselves. See, I had to learn that excuses was me saying I'm afraid to pursue everything that I know I need to do. Not only was I afraid to do it, excuses was coming because nothing got done. I thought just because I made an excuse, it was okay. When I realized me making the excuse was me saying, I'm afraid to fail. I'm afraid to try. I'm afraid to be embarrassed. Even though I began to understand that growth comes from failure and failure is knowledge, it's because I had to learn and recognize that the excuses was me not taking accountability for myself. I had to learn that accountability meant that I'm growing for myself. When I began to grow for myself, life became overwhelming, challenging, and disheartening because I didn't know how to handle it nor approach it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Terrell with the Humphrey, and welcome to another episode of Failure is Knowledge. Here at Failure is Knowledge, we speak about growth and how we are becoming the best version of ourselves through trial and tribulations. If this is your first time at this channel, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure you hit the like, wait towards the end and leave a comment. Today we're speaking about why making excuses stops our growth. Here's why this topic came about, because today I was gonna go to the gym. As I was going to the gym, I actually left the house, and on my way to the gym, I was 30 seconds away from it. I turned around and came back home. I came back home because I'm just gonna work out for 15 to 17 minutes. In hindsight, I could have worked out for them 17 minutes and got my day started correctly. Instead, I came back home and took a nap. Now, the part about that I learned is that I made the excuse not to work out. Even though I didn't work out, I made the excuse to come get some more sleep. In reality, I didn't even sleep. I didn't even get the nap that I was looking for, because my mind was filled with thoughts. My mind was filled with regrets, and my mind was filled with excuses because I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym because I really just didn't feel like it. That's when I learned that when we don't feel like doing things, we don't feel like doing that challenge, doing that tough thing that's going to push us just a little bit more, we should do it instead. Now, I'm not saying I'm the perfect person. I'm not the perfect example to follow. What I am saying is that I learned from my excuses. I learned from my failures. I also learned from my trials, and also learned from me trying. See, here's the thing about excuses, that excuses lies within us until we recognize why. I didn't go to the gym because I just didn't want to work out today. Is it an excuse, or is it a realization? Say, I need to rest. No, not really. I've been resting for the last couple of days. See, that's when I understood that challenges are going to be faced when I face them head on. I can't run away from pain. I can't run away from growth. I can't run away from consistency, because it's in me every single day. Even though I made the excuse not to go to the gym, it made so much more sense in my head. My lady was like, why aren't you going to the gym again? Why don't you just stay longer? There's always a solution with the excuse, but the excuse is the challenge. We have to overcome what we don't want to do to push us to the best version of ourselves. That's the first part I want to hit on, is why overcoming challenges is so important, because we all have challenges. Challenges doesn't stop being presented. We just handle them differently. We just approach them in a different manner, because the manner that's being resolved or discovered is us believing in ourselves. Now, when challenges come, how can we believe in ourselves when the tough times present themselves? See, tough times keep presenting because it shows us that we're on the right path. As we're on the right path, nothing is going to be easy for us. We have to learn how to pivot. We have to learn how to change direction. We have to learn how to believe in every step that we're taking to grow and believe in everything that we're doing. See, challenges doesn't stop coming. We just handle them in a different manner. The manner that we handle them in is us identifying the problem. As we're identifying the problem, we're not making no excuses for not accomplishing our goal. See, our target and our goal gets dropped just because we don't understand the work and effort that has to be put into ourselves. We have to constantly put effort into the challenges, because the challenges is what make us the person that we are becoming. Nothing in life is going to be easy. Everything has to be worked for. As it's worked for, how can we become better? What can we learn? How can we grow from this? See, we grow when we make a decision for ourselves rather than making excuses. I know I can grow better. I know I can do better. I know I can go to the gym each and every day. I know I can work out on a consecutive basis, even if it's 20 minutes. I understand that I control how I respond. Even though the excuse that I made today to not work out didn't even make sense to me, didn't even make sense to my lady, but it was an excuse to not force me to challenge myself. When I learned that overcoming challenges was me going to the gym every single day, being consistent, me working on my health, taught me that challenges only get easier. Challenges is in the mind rather than the body. Because when I get tired, how can I push past my tiredness? How can I push past my fatigueness? How can I push past the tough times? See, challenges come as they're being present. We handle them in a different manner. And the manner that we're handling them is us believing that we can understand and recognize what we're going through. No more excuses saying, I'm not making an excuse for why I didn't complete a task. I'm not making excuses for why this goal didn't get accomplished. I'm not making excuses on why I didn't do what I was supposed to. See, that's the thing about accountability. Overcoming challenges is no longer putting a blame on anyone else. I'm just taking a full accountability for myself. I had to learn that excuses come from us not wanting to do something and us throwing in the towel when challenges present themselves. The gym is meant to push you if you're pushing yourself. Life is meant to test you if you're willing to take the test. Effort is effortless when you begin to do it on a consistent basis. Why? Because now it's second nature. It's second nature to go to the gym. It's second nature to believe in yourself. It's second nature to identify the problem that's at hand. See, challenges doesn't stop coming. We just handle them differently. We just handle them differently because we're no longer making excuses no more. So when we stop making excuses, we grow and we understand why growth is even here. I began to witness that growth was within me because I was deciding for myself. As I began to decide, the challenges became more understanding. I can't get challenged and lose my mind, because if I'm losing my mind, I'm not thinking for the solutions. There's always a solution for the problem. There's always a solution to the problem. Am I willing to open my mind and not overthink the process and the challenges that I'm facing here and now? When I learned that excuses came from me not believing in my craft, me not believing in myself, me not believing in facing this challenge, the challenge overcame me because I didn't recognize what I was going through. Challenges doesn't stop coming. We grow into our success. We grow into our success to handle the challenges as being present. Challenges doesn't stop coming. They just get dressed differently. Yet when we control ourselves and don't look for an excuse, the solution to the problem gets discovered because we are consistent with ourselves. The next point I want to hit on is clear focus. It's clear focus. When I understood that I didn't have clear focus this morning, it taught me the importance of just really taking it one step at a time. Be patient with your journey. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with everything that you're doing. Because if I want overnight success, as quickly as it comes, is as quickly as it can leave. I had to learn that I really had to slow down and believe in everything I'm doing and that I'm doing that is going to pay off. As I'm going to the gym, as I'm getting healthy, as I'm eating correctly, I'm seeing my body transition. I'm seeing my body transform, and as it's transforming, I can feel the difference. I can feel when I get up every morning, go push myself and challenge myself in this gym. Because when I challenge myself in the gym, when I get back home and start working and making videos and recording and editing and posting, the challenges is not that overwhelming because I done push myself. So when you begin to push yourself, you're on the right path, because life doesn't slow down. We just learn how to control ourselves. When we stop making excuses, we learn how can we find a solution to this problem. This problem is what's at hand. When I didn't go to the gym, that was the problem at hand, but I didn't assess everything because I wanted to come back and take it now. When I understood I was making an excuse of why I didn't go work out, it showed me the change, the feeling like I could have worked out, but I didn't. So instead of me making excuses, I'm now taking accountability. As I'm taking accountability, I'm learning why this is important, because as I'm taking accountability, it's teaching me how to assess and understand the problem at hand. See, the clear focus is saying that we need to focus on one particular thing, one particular goal, one particular problem to identify, assess it, and learn it and see what it's doing for us. We can't face challenges if we're not ready to accept it. We can't face growth if we're not willing to walk through it. We can't face failure if we're not willing to fail. There's a lesson behind the madness. The madness is us believing in every step that we're taking. See, when we have a clear focus, nothing's going to stop us from completing this goal. This goal is being completed because we believe in everything that we're doing. As we believe in everything that we're doing, it's teaching us that the challenges is not going to stop us. It's just going to build us up a little bit more. It's just going to make us stronger a little bit more. It's just going to give us a clear focus a little bit more. Why? Because we're overcoming the challenges, and the challenges is showing us how focus is so important. A clear focus is identifying one particular problem at a time. When I didn't go to the gym, I was thinking about sleep, I was thinking about food, I was thinking about getting some rest. But I wasn't thinking about working out. See, that's the payoff. We have to identify what we wanted to give up, what we wanted to sacrifice to handle the focus that's going to come for us. When I learned that me identifying what I'm doing and why I'm doing it this way, I'm developing a clear focus because I didn't even recognize what was being built. Even though I didn't recognize it, I didn't stop. And that is okay to not go to the gym, but I didn't go to the gym for 3 days. What's my excuse now? See, I'm taking accountability for my actions. My actions led to an excuse for me not going to the gym. I wasn't focused on my goal because my goal wasn't as clear as it needed to be. And then I learned, I'm like, oh, okay, the challenge is here to push you. When you're in the gym, you're pushing yourself a little bit more, day by day. As I'm pushing myself, I'm willing and seeing how stronger I'm getting. You can only get strong if you're lifting weights. You can only get in shape if you're willing to go through the pain. If you can only give effort if you only wake up and go to the gym. That's when I understood. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a process that I need to learn and recognize the focus I need to build to remain clear on everything that I'm doing. I can't keep my focus on 5 things at once. I can only focus on one thing at a time. The challenge that's here at hand, I'm focusing on this. How can I overcome this problem? How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I become so better that when the challenge gets presented again, I know how to handle myself? See, as I'm handling myself, I know how to grow into my focus. My focus is being developed because I'm clear on the problem that's at hand. That's when I began to understand that focus takes time. And as it's taking time, we have to be clear on the challenges that's at hand. Before I get to the next point, this Wednesday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm hosting a free webinar on how to repurpose your pain into your passion. And we all have pain. We just have to learn how to overcome it because this is a challenge that we have to face to learn what our passion is. And the best thing about it is that our passion has always been in us. We just forgot about it. This Wednesday, I'm hosting a free webinar on how to repurpose your pain into your passion. The link will be in the description below. Click it, sign up, register, and I'll see you this Wednesday. Next point I want to hit on is time management. Time management is so important because if we don't have focus on one goal, our time that we're managing is going to be wasted. If we're not focusing on one challenge, our time that we have, it's not going to be managed correctly. I've learned that even though time management is important, how can we develop it? I started to develop time management when I was before I joined the military, when I was playing high school football, because we had to be early. We had to be 30 minutes early to practice and warm up and do training and drills and things of that nature. I didn't recognize that the teaching the lessons that I've learned in high school was gonna carry me through the rest of my life. When I'm early, I know how to control the time. When I'm late, I can't necessarily control my efforts because now I have to rush and do everything. That's when I began to understand, like, we have a decision to put effort into the time that we have. We have to manage and control everything that we're doing, because if we're not controlling everything that we're doing, the challenges will remain overwhelming. We have to overcome the challenges. We have to learn how to focus and have time management. Time management shows that, okay, yes, I'm going to be consistent. Yes, I'm going to build this routine. Yes, I'm going to give effort. I'm going to give effort at a particular time. Same time every day, I'm going to give effort. Same time every day, I go to the gym at 6 o'clock. A little bit earlier sometimes. I'll be in there from 6 maybe to 6:30, 6:40. So if I get there at 6, leave at 6:40, I'm there for 40 minutes. If I get there at 6:10, leave at 6:40, I'm there for 30 minutes. I try to get there in the range of 30 minutes so I can at least get four workouts in. And when I learned how to control the time that I have, I began to set alarms on my phone. My phone became my time management because I can't identify and see how much time I have left. I started using stopwatches to give me the control of the time that I have. And it taught me, even though you're doing something, you can't lose focus on the task and challenge that you're facing. Because when you're focused and dialed in on everything that you're doing, there's steps and phases and level to growth. We can't grow if we're not willing to put time into the management. See, the management is us recognizing what we're doing for X amount of time. Time is very crucial because time is of the essence. Time is of the essence because we're not aware of it. When we begin to understand the time that we have is very valuable, we begin to take it second by second. And this is going to help us grow into the best version of ourselves, because if we're doing something for 5 minutes and the alarm go off within the span of 5 minutes, now we can rest because we gave it out all for this 5 minutes. 5 minutes is just an example, but think about if we're constantly building a routine for ourselves to understand the time that we have, to focus on it, to be clear on it, and to observe everything that's here right in front of us. See, time management is a challenge itself, because how can you be used to watching time when time is of the essence? We have to be willing to put forth that effort into ourselves to recognize we get what we put out. If we're putting out management, we understand the time that we have because we have clear focus. As we're having clear focus, now we begin to overcome different challenges. We can't overcome challenges if we're not learning more about ourselves. That's why learning more about ourselves is so important, because it gives us the focus to be clear on the time that we have. See, and it goes hand in hand because it's teaching us the importance of growth. It's teaching us the demonstration of consistency. And it's showing us that if we stick to one thing, if we focus on time and have a clear goal in mind that we're wanting to achieve, we'll be better off, because now we're learning more about ourselves. As we learn more about ourselves, we grow. And now as we're growing, we understand the growth is here in front of us. Because as we're understanding the growth is here in front of us, the challenges as being present, we know how to find a solution. All we have to do is just sit, observe the problem, assess it. And as we're sitting in the problem and assessing it, we grow rapidly. As we're growing rapidly, we develop skills that's going to help us later on in life. See, life is a game, and we have to decide to play it. If we're not deciding to play it, we're letting life control us. That's when I begin to learn, like, we have to stop making excuses and give effort for our success, for our growth, for our journey each and every day. Because if we are not consistent, Why should the universe or the world reward us with any type of outcome that we're looking for? That's when I began to learn that success has to be learned. Time management has to be learned. A clear focus has to be learned. And overcoming challenges has to be learned, because we have to be willing to go through the hard times, to recognize that the tough times is here to pick us back up. And as we're being picked up, we are stronger than ever, that can control everything and know how to handle anything that comes for us. That comes from confidence and time and effort. See, once we understand how to overcome our challenges, we begin to gain a clear focus on the time that we have in order for it to be managed. If you enjoyed this video and really got value from it, leave a review, leave a comment down below explaining how we are going to stop making excuses for ourselves. If you want to watch more videos on how to personally grow and develop within yourself, click this video right here or click the link in the description for more videos, and I appreciate it.